What's going on, guys? Mike Butler here with another edition of the Mike Butler Wrestling Podcast. Today we are going over the WWE rulebook that was just released at your local bookstore. Before I get into that, I would like to just let you guys know to like and subscribe that YouTube page, this video, on all my previous videos as well. Also like me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. There's going to be the links and names of all my accounts in the description below, as well as my Facebook page, the Mike Butler Podcast. Follow that. That's off to a good start. Also, follow my buddies at the Broadcast Podcast. Follow them on Twitter, at the Broadcast Podcast. You can listen to them on iTunes as well as any of your other podcast apps. So just a technical issue I'd want to clear up. I did just get this new webcam. That's why you see me with no headphones. I'm a little bit closer, and there's a built-in mic to it, so if there's any audio problems or if the camera kind of refocuses itself, that's what this webcam does. That's just what that is. I'm trying this out and maybe just seeing how it works. So, hopefully it's okay. I tell you what, though, this webcam is definitely a better purchase than this purchase. I don't know if you could see that, but this is the rule book here. It's really bright in here, but this is the rule book here. A little bit about the book. Got it at Barnes & Noble's, as any red-blooded American would get their books at. $16.99, I believe it was. Not too bad for a book, but basically what I was expecting out of this was a book of rules. Now what I got was pretty much, just pretend this is a high school copybook. And when you were in high school, or if you currently are in high school, what are you doing during the boring classes? Back in my day, we would doodle and write some notes. Draw little pictures, stupid messages, whatever. This is exactly what that is. There are some rules, but then there are also fancy little artistic doodles that looks like to be with pencil, but I mean, it's not really pencil, but it makes it look like it is. This is really disappointing because this is a kind of a waste. And what I was hoping to do was make this an episodic series, so I could have something to do every week, kind of like what I'm planning on doing with my Raw vs. Nitro series. However, I can bash this in like 15 minutes and just be done with it. So that's what we're going to do today. And then at the end of however long it takes me to bash this, we're going to just talk about other stuff. Maybe what's going on outside of the WWE. I haven't really gone over anything like that before. And then, we'll just promote all my other shows and stuff, and then see what other ideas I can come up with on camera right now to entertain you guys, since this will not entertain you guys. So anyway, we're going to get started here, and just bear with me here, because I've only looked over this book once since I got it. I got it like an hour ago, and I still don't really know what to expect. Maybe I missed something. So let's start this off. It has one of those, can't see it, but it has one of those like file tie thingies, so I gotta unravel it, because it's so confidential and everything, It took a while for this book to be released to the public. So anyway, there's a nice little foreword by Daniel Bryan. I didn't bother reading it, but, it sucks, whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Note from the editor. So these are, I guess, chapters that are called rule categories. Rules of the ring, what to wear, entrances and exits, stipulation matches, and superstar conduct. And then it has a stupid little drawing in here that says, rule number 1, never look Undertaker in the eyes. Whatever. So, let's see. Yada, yada, yada. And they also have pages of I guess, memos. I don't know if these are real memos that Vince has sent out to officials, but this first memo says, "Attention all officials. This was sent November 9th, 1997, right around the Montreal screw job. When calling tonight's contest, please consider this, as you always should, the golden rule. Please also remember that while you are an authority figure, the chairman always has the final say, especially during a main event contest for the championship. P.S. Fans in Montreal are known to be hostile, so please make note of all nearby security personnel. Dictated, not read." Don't really know what that means. Not quite sure. But anyway, here's the first one. These aren't numbered, or these are just kind of randomly put on pages. And the first rule I noticed was the ring bell. Matches officially begin and end with the ringing of the bell. No fucking shit. If you don't know that, you're dumb. So let's get into, and then it goes on to talk about what pinfalls are, what submissions are, what the DQs are, what dictates a DQ, what dictates a submission, whether it's a tap out or a verbal quit. Yeah, so nothing really new there. It describes what the ring ropes are used for, which we all know. They're open for creative interpretation during a match. Some restrictions apply. Superstars may not use the ropes for choking their opponent, giving their opponent rope burn, or something to handcuff. Okay, then. So here's the first rule. Now, the whole plan of this episode was to find these rules and, I guess, criticize them because WWE does not follow these rules. And it would be funny to see how they come out with a rule book, yet they don't follow their own rules. So here's the first rule that I found. Because WWE, when they released this, must have been really smart, because there are not many rules that they don't follow here, but I know they do a lot of things, or book a lot of things that are not, that would not make sense. So, here's the first one. The 30-day clause. A reigning champion must defend their title at least once every 30 days, whether it be during a televised or non-televised event. Okay. Two people come to mind in recent memory. Obviously, Brock Lesnar. He was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He won it at SummerSlam in 2015, I'm going to say. I believe it was 15. Might have been 14. Pretty sure it was 15. And then he lost it at WrestleMania 31, which was in April of 2015. So from August to April of 2015. No, excuse me. That's August of 2014 to April of 2015. That's when he held it. Now, he only showed up at pay-per-views like SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. So, that's definitely well over 30 days. So, you got that. Whereas when Daniel Bryan was champ, I don't even think they waited 30 days. They waited 2 weeks. And then the other person that comes to mind is actually just as current as today's product is Chris Jericho. He is currently the United States champion. He won that on an episode of Raw before the Royal Rumble, so probably mid-January. And if you're watching this right now, it is March 9th, I believe. He definitely hasn't defended it on TV. And I don't know if he's defended it on non-televised events. So, okay, he hasn't been stripped of the title yet. And I don't see him defending the title before WrestleMania this year. So, you kind of have to throw him in a title match per rules. But whatever, I digress. Moving right along. A champion can, provided that they have the means and skills to protect it, a superstar can create their own championship. We've seen this with the $1 Million Championship. We've seen this with John Cena's U.S. Spinner Belt. My thing is why doesn't every champion do this? And they kind of do now with the side plates being customized for every champion. But, I don't know. There's some ugly belts out there right now. Universal Championship. And I just thought maybe someone would be cool enough to change it. But I guess not. Other than that, guys, I mean, it goes over tag team matches. Like, I want to try to show you, like, a page out of this. Look at that. There's, like, doodles, and that's just going over tag team matches. Like, you can't even read this thing. And the Freebird rules in here. There's another memo. Okay, here's another memo that I found interesting. This is probably fake, because it's from the anonymous Raw General Manager to Michael Cole. It states, the following are acceptable exclamatory phrases for commentators. What a maneuver. Business just picked up. You gotta be kidding me. Vintage. Will you be serious? And I quote, somebody stop the damn match. These are all things Michael Cole says, in case you didn't pick up on it. This is depressing. What else we got here? We got referee ones. Here's a rule. If you're on Randy Orton's bad side, be alert. At all times, the RKO really can't come out of nowhere. Though this is true, that the RKO can come out of nowhere, this is not a real rule. See, when I purchased this book, I was expecting real educational rules that the casual WWE fan doesn't know. But no, this is something that I probably could have wrote, and I know a couple buddies who are pretty good drawlers that could, or artists I guess you should say, that could definitely contribute to this. This is not something that they planned on very well. Ringside assistants. They can be coaches, managers, parents, siblings, spouses, significant others, tag team and stable partners. We got movie stars, pro athletes, heavy metal musicians, advocates, and stunt doubles. Oh God, this is nothing. Like these are nothing that you don't already know unless you've never watched a minute, second, millisecond of wrestling, and that makes this really, really disappointing. So let's see what else we got here. While not a requirement, adding big to your name is a good way of helping people realize you are in fact large. Here's another memo. As a reminder, the rules of the WWE Draft strictly prohibit superstars from appearing on the opposing brand's programming. You are only to compete for the brand you have been drafted to. No exceptions. Stop right there. Okay. While we haven't seen really anybody show up on each other's brand as of late, as soon as this brand stuff started kicking in, you saw Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar do their business on each other's shows. I'm not sure if Lesnar showed up on a SmackDown, but Randy Orton definitely showed up on the Raw, where he RKO'd Brock Lesnar. So, and that memo was allegedly sent out by VKM, who is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So, yeah, he sucks. Ooh, what to wear? Let's see where this leads. All in-ring gear can be adorned with superstar names, team faction names, nicknames, logos, catchphrases, flags, and designs of any kind. No shit. Here we go again with these stupid... This is a kid book. I've purchased a kid book instead of an educational guide to the world of wrestling. I purchased a kid book. And you know what? I should have known better. In fact, it says on the front of the book, published for the entire WWE universe. I suck. Because us 90s fans, us Attitude Era fans, we are not referred to the WWE universe. At least I don't want to be referred to as the WWE universe. I want to be referred to as a fan, and that's what I am, a fan. Oh, also, it says it's called the WWE Book of Rules and How to Break Them, but you see it has a little flap here. So when the flap is down, it says break them, but when you unflap it, it says make them. Somewhere up there. There you go. This is just terrible. I'm doing an episode based off this stuff. This is not good. Ooh, it finally describes a chairs match. Let's see what it says other than no DQ. A chairs match. During a chairs match, superstars are permitted to use folding chairs to strike their opponents on the body. The outcome is still determined by pinfall or submission. A chairs match, for those who don't know, is a no disqualification match. Nothing else. Except for the higher emphasis on chairs. That's it. This book pretty much points out just how pointless and pathetic these match types are. Let's see. What else is in here? This is just terrible, guys. I'm sorry. They take some questionable shots here. So, I'll show you this one. If you can't read that, that is it looks like a kind of a prayer card for the Big Show's father. And you remember that storyline with the Big Boss Man. Now, I know that wasn't his real father who passed away, but still, his father, in fact, did pass away. And I don't know. It says, superstars should not show up uninvited to the funeral of a rival's loved one, and they definitely should not abscond the remains. I guess that means escape with the remains, because in that storyline, Big Boss Man stole the Big Show's father's casket, with supposedly the casket being inside. Or a father being inside the casket. Sorry, guys, this book is just insane. Yada yada yada. Some of the best catchphrases aren't phrases at all. Would you read this? Would you read this? Because I wouldn't. That's like how. This isn't official. This is not official. This book is terrible, guys. If you were thinking about buying this, don't. Because I did, and I regret it. I really do. On the subject of beards, beards are allowed provided they are well kept and do not extend farther than 3 inches below the chin. Now, chin here is crossed out, and then it says ankle. And I was going to say, because, like, this isn't even 3 inches, I don't think. And you guys got Bray Wyatt. You still have Daniel Bryan, really, but you had Daniel Bryan. So, that was stupid. Then it tries to be funny with a list here that says, things I found in Bray Wyatt's beard. Gum, a clothespin, 1 baby alligator, keys to an airboat, a smaller beard. I mention this because I think we should be required to shave it, or at least wash it. Ha! This is... no. New rule. DX does what DX wants to do. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Nope. It has a picture of Miss Elizabeth's and Macho Man's wedding invite. And then on it, it says, a cobra is not an appropriate wedding gift. If you don't know that story, Jake Roberts crashed the wedding, or the wedding reception, with a cobra as a gift. Scared the living shit out of Elizabeth. Oh, God. Dear Mr. McMahon, we have reviewed your claim thoroughly and are afraid there is no clause in your insurance policy that covers your Corvette being filled with cement. Particularly, given that you were parked so close to that construction zone. If anything, we could try to classify this incident as an act of God, but as far as we can tell, Stone Cold Steve Austin isn't God. He's just very good at being bad. We hope you understand. Alright, there's something really wrong with this. Stone Cold is God. That's all I have to say. An email from Vicky Guerrero. All WWE superstars must treat general managers with respect. As general manager of SmackDown, it is my position that arguing with decisions and name-calling are absolutely unacceptable. This sucks. This sucks, guys. And then at the end of it, there's a picture of what looks to be somebody's tax return. And it says, pay your taxes, real big on it, by IRS. That's it. That's basically it, guys. There was really nothing to talk about here. I am upset. It was a waste of money. And I think I'm going to return it and get my money fucking back. Because it's terrible. Because you know what I think about this? That's what I think about that. Anyway. I apologize that that did not work out the way I was hoping it would. But I still wanted to bring you... I knew it wasn't going to after I went through it for 5 minutes. But I wanted to bring you guys a different episode. And I promised you guys that. And it turned out to be crap. So I still decided to shoot this. And then maybe we can kind of go off topic and talk about some other things. But don't worry. Because this Saturday, it's Raw versus Nitro. We're going to start with the very first Nitro. And whatever Raw that aired that day. I believe Nitro started airing in I think in the summer, I believe. So we'll pick it up during the summer, but I can't wait for that series. We'll still have the Raw, the SmackDown review next week. The Raw Nitro series, it will not be it won't be a certain day. If I made it every Saturday, I wouldn't be able to do it next week. I will be in Atlantic City next weekend. And, well, I'll be heading home from Atlantic City and won't be able to... Yeah, I'll probably be tired from traveling and stuff. And plus it's St. Paddy's Day, and well, the day after St. Paddy's Day, and all you guys will be hungover, so you guys won't want to listen to me anyway. So let's see what's going on. Let's talk about the Hardys for a minute. Contract expired with TNA. They were the TNA Tag Team Champions. Still are, I believe, the TNA Tag Team Champions. They've signed with ROH. Now, I don't know how long this contract is for, but their first night at ROH, they beat the Young Bucks for the ROH Tag Team titles. I wouldn't book it any other way. I don't know how lenient their contract is with ROH. I don't know where else they can go. Matt Hardy has stated in his Broken Hardy character that they can go pretty much anywhere. And I don't know if WWE is going to be a part of that. Mainly because WWE is not cool like that. sorry, they're not. They won't, if they're going to sign the Hardys, they want the Hardys to be just WWE. So, I don't know where Hardy is going with that. I don't know how long their ROH contract is, but Matt Hardy has not ruled out the possibility of him and Jeff appearing at WrestleMania, which makes it kind of exciting. But again, I don't see how, if they are ROH champions, they could show up at a WWE-based event, and vice versa. I mean, if they're going to be signed with WWE, they are probably going to be signed with WWE. One thing that worries me is that if they do sign with WWE, I don't think that the Broken Hardy and the Brother Nero characters are going with them. And I think that could be a deal breaker for Matt Hardy, at least. Maybe not Jeff Hardy, but definitely Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy built this character up so much and got it over so hugely that I think if he can't bring it to the WWE, then that's a deal breaker for him. The reason he won't bring it to the WWE is because I don't think Vince McMahon or anybody else in charge of that will really understand the character. I don't think Vince is really in touch. I mean, I know everyone says he's out of touch, so I guess he wouldn't be in touch with the character like that. I don't think he would really get it. On the other hand, say if it plays out that way, they don't want him to bring the Broken Hardy gimmick to the WWE, Matt Hardy still says, okay, I'll show up. He's gotten it over to the point where those fans will always be chanting, delete, 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 to the point where the WWE won't be able to ignore that. I mean, you can only edit out chants so much. So you can't just, I mean, I know they've done this before, but you can't just blatantly ignore the fans. If they want to see Broken Hardy, they'll make it to a point where they're not going to stop chanting until they get Broken Hardy. And honestly, how else are you going to bring Matt Hardy into the program? You could bring him in as the old Hardy Boys gimmick, but they're not boys anymore. They're 30, 40-year-old men, and they're not really the heartthrobs that they used to be. Maybe Jeff Hardy is. If he takes off his shirt, the girls will go frickin' wild, sure. But Matt Hardy is not that same guy. Jeff Hardy really isn't that same guy, but he could probably pass it off. So you really can't bring them in as that old gimmick. You have to bring them in as Broken Matt and Brother Nero. Hopefully they can work out some type of a deal with the WWE before WrestleMania. I would like to see them at WrestleMania. I don't know how long ROH contracts tend to be. I don't know if Matt Hardy's an exception. I know the WWE doesn't really sign people to 1 month or 2 month contracts. I don't know if ROH does that. But if Matt Hardy's going around saying that there's a chance that he can be at WrestleMania or could be at New Japan or anywhere else in the world, I tend to believe him. I tend to believe that ROH maybe has given them some type of leash where they can go elsewhere as well as ROH Tag Team Champions maybe. I don't know if WWE wants to bring ROH tag titles on TV. At the same time, the WWE has done surveys with fans of the WWE Network who, they've asked fans, would you want to see independent wrestling circuits on the network? ROH was one of those brands. So maybe they are going ahead with that, and ROH and WWE struck some type of deal where maybe they can bring the ROH tag titles and bring the Hardys while under contract with ROH to the WWE for WrestleMania. Even if it's just for WrestleMania, maybe they can do that. So definitely interesting stuff there. The WrestleMania build-up for the tag division is weak as hell. Matt Hardy has stated, on Twitter that they'd probably be going after the Raw tag team titles, which, of course, they'd go after the Raw tag team titles because SmackDown doesn't need any fresh faces or anything. That was sarcasm. I think it would be stupid for the Hardys to go to Raw. I think there are different fans between Raw fans and SmackDown fans. And SmackDown fans are way cooler. Because they're hype. Because they're about to see SmackDown. Whereas Raw fans, they're tired. And they're about to see Raw. Which means they're probably in for a pretty shitty show. And so, maybe that's why they would bring the Hardys to Raw. To liven it up a little bit. But at the same time, Brock Lesnar don't do it. Samoa Joe don't really do it. Seth Rollins don't do it. We haven't seen enough of Finn Balor on Raw for him to do it. He was only on Raw for like a month before he got injured. SmackDown is 2 hours. Doesn't take much to get the fans hyped. This past week, the SmackDown episode only had like 3 matches. And everyone was all pumped up about Randy Orton and AJ Styles. It was a good match. I don't think it was nearly as great as it could have been. If you see that on a pay-per-view, I think it could be much better. They have more time opportunity there. They don't have a time limit to work with, really, and at least not as much as you do on TV, on pay-per-view. So SmackDown, I think, would be a better fit for the Hardys, they need a new tag team. I mean, we're going to see American Alpha versus the Usos. How many times have we seen that before? But yeah, either way, I would love to see the Hardys come back. It would be really cool to see them come back with the ROH tag titles, with the TNA tag team titles, but I think that's stretching it a little bit. Matt did post on Twitter that he's going to reveal what the fate of the TNA tag team titles are what it's going to be, and I can only imagine that they're going to trash them, melt them, wear them as jewelry, something, because the TNA titles, I guess it'd be called the Impact tag team titles, are trash, and the company's kind of trash. So really, they're not worth much. I don't know what the fate of the titles are, but I'm assuming that the Hardys will do something pretty cool with it. Let's see, what else do we got, guys? Not much else. We're a half hour into the show, which is kind of what I usually run. But man, I gotta tell you, I was really disappointed in that rule book, man. Guys, again, let me know how this webcam is doing. I've noticed I've gone in and out, and it's been fading in and out. This is a new thing I'm trying. I spent the money on it, just trying to see how it works. I've gotten positive feedback on my backdrop, except for one asshole who said it looked like ISIS. His name will remain nameless. You know who you are. And then, so what's going on with me this week? Saturday is Raw versus Nitro. Again, here's how that's going to work. I'm going to watch the episode of Raw. I'm going to watch an episode of Nitro. I'm going to try to compare the two, probably by the gimmicks that I see. And I know back in '93 that the WWE had some pretty shitty gimmicks. I'm going to go by excitement, realism, and overall just a better show. And mainly just realism. If I'm watching this for the first time, if I'm watching wrestling for the first time, don't know anything about it, don't know that it's predetermined, don't know that the wrestlers don't really hate each other, I'll probably grade them on, okay, which one, if I were put in that position, would I think is the realer one? And then I'll grade each show by letter, I guess. And we're going to see, just in my opinion, if WCW was that much better than Raw at the time. Because that whole thing, they beat Raw 82 or 83 or 84 weeks in a row. We're going to find out. Because I don't think that, now this is the WWE fan inside of me, we're going to find out if Nitro was that much better than them. I find it hard to believe that WCW Nitro is going to beat Raw 84 weeks in a row, in my eyes. But that's just me. I've tried watching Nitro before. Could never really get into it. I could never really watch TNA either because it reminded me so much of WCW. Probably because Jarrett was on there, Hogan was on there, Bischoff was on there, Nash was on there, Hall was on there. It was WCW light, pretty much. So that's pretty much what's going to be that series. That series will be a weekly episodic series, and that I can't wait for. It's not going to be on a certain day, but every week I can assure you that I will have Raw versus Nitro. I will make it to a point where I will have that for you. Even if I have a review show the same day, I will somehow put it up. But so that's what's going on. Next week, I am moving to a different location for work. How does this affect this podcast? Well, hopefully, podcast will be up earlier. I usually have to catch up on Raw and SmackDown via the DVR. So, I'm moving closer to home. So, having to catch up with the DVR, I'll be able to get home quicker, watch the series, watch the Raw, watch the SmackDown, and really, finish those shows sooner and then get this podcast up sooner. So I'm excited about that. Also, since this WWE rulebook didn't really work out to our advantage, again, I was looking to have that as an episodic series as well. So, I'm going to throw some ideas out there for you. Let's see what we can make up for a new series for the Mike Butler Wrestling Podcast. And these are just coming off the top of my head here. Now, weekly, I could watch a show on the WWE Network and review that for you. I haven't watched everything. When I go on the network, I usually watch whatever pay-per-view's on, plus Attitude Era Raw, and very seldom SmackDown. And I watch some of the documentaries. So, there's a lot that I need to watch. I don't watch like the Story Time. I don't watch Total Divas. Alright, I lied. I've watched Total Divas, but that's because Dana likes Total Divas and I don't really have a choice. I don't like it. I like it. I don't like it though. Anyway. So, I could do that for you, or something just popped in my head again. I could watch all the documentaries on there, see how, and review those for you, see how that goes, in case, you guys ever questioned, if it was a good review, if it was a bad review, or if you want to watch it, if you don't want to watch it, you want to see what I think, that's fine, that's cool. So there's those two ideas. Do you want me to do a SmackDown review, a classic SmackDown series review? I've watched pretty much all the SmackDowns from like 99 when they aired, but I couldn't tell you what's on the first episode of SmackDown now. A lot of brain cells killed from alcohol and all that good stuff, so we could do that for you. Also, another idea, how about, and I kind of hate to do this, but, I'm on here always talking wrestling with you guys. Some of you guys are from other countries, not from the United States. How about this? And this is how I know, this is how I can tell that people are actually watching this. You go on my Twitter, Mike Butler 1127. You type in a question, you tweet me a question, and on the next week's show, I will answer it. I will spend an hour answering Twitter questions. I will only take serious inquiries, though. So all you assholes who I know they're going to make fun of this, don't ask me a dumbass question, because I will not answer it and give you the entertainment of being on my nationally broadcast podcast and give you credit. Because you don't deserve credit, because you suck for making fun of me. But anyway, I guess you could say it's an Ask Me Anything on Twitter. But you could also snap me a question, and I'll snap you right back. Doesn't matter. I'm looking for ideas. These are ideas that are just popping into my head right now. Just to replace the fucking rule book episode, man. God damn. I hated it. But yeah, guys, just let me know. Other than that, guys, that's it. You know, we got a long way to go before we have another pay-per-view review show, so that's gonna be epic. I want to do something special for that. Maybe if I get enough followers, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a live review. If you guys watch me live, I will do a live review on YouTube. So, as long as I get enough followers. I got like 18 subscribers right now. I don't know how many of that actually watch the videos, if they religiously watch the videos, but if I can get enough followers, I feel like I have enough followers, I'll do a live YouTube review right after WrestleMania. Unless it's boring as hell. But it's not going to be, because it's WrestleMania and it's going to be awesome, I'm sure. Even though I shit talk the matches that are probably going to happen on there, I'm sure it's going to be an awesome show. It always is. Other than that, guys, I got nothing for you. Remember, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, the Mike Butler Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. Like it. Search for it and like it. Do whatever you can to find that Facebook page. Because that helps me out. That helps you out. That helps all these. With one click, you can make my Facebook page for my podcast reach millions of people who don't know about this podcast, who are deprived of not seeing this podcast. Just one click. Also, guys, again, give me your feedback on the show. Was this show a good show? Was this show a bad show? Do you not want me to do these stupid episodic shows that are not the review shows? Do you want me to just stick to review shows? Any episode suggestions I am willing to take. How was my webcam? Anything to make this show better, I am willing to take the criticism, take the compliments, take the insults, anything. Do you want me to stop doing it? You want me to just say, yo, Mike, you fucking suck? Anything like that, let me know. And, guys, if I, for some reason, don't see you before St. Paddy's Day, happy St. Paddy's Day. Don't drink and drive. And, yeah, get drunk. So, that's all, guys. Have a good night.